Hello, everybody. I'm Tim. I'm hosting a series of mini podcasts from our for our grade school friends, if you will. And this idea came because we did a class reunion recently, as you know, and it was a major success. And everybody got together. It was a lot of fun. But the one thing I think we all noticed, Kev, is it went by. Those 5 hours went by so fast.
Oh, no doubt.
And
No
no
doubt.
doubt, right? They just flew by,
Yeah.
and I realized that I didn't have a chance to talk to you know that much with like Sean Cabo or Emma or Liz or there were a bunch of people like just didn't really have a chance to like, hey, what happened? How are things going? Like what's been going on? And so I've decided like why don't we try to do a mini podcast here and get a little check in and learn something about our classmates, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I
that's
think
what I wanted to do. And this is the first in this series, hopefully very successful. And I decided my good buddy Kevin to be the first one. How about that?
inaugurate the YouTube channel. Yeah, I think if
That's correct.
if somebody would have told us 44 years ago when we got out of eighth grade that we'd be sitting here video chatting about those days, I think that would have, and we were pretty high tech. I mean, we had Atari,
We
you know.
were. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's pretty cool that
That's a that's a
we can
that's
even do
a
this.
that's a good point. That's a very good point that you would
Yeah.
think if you can go back and be like, we would have been like, what'd you say? What?
Yeah.
What are we
And you're
able
going
to
to put it
do?
where? People going to watch it?
Be, be,
Yeah.
be, I mean, nuts, absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But
Good stuff.
yeah, and so one thing I wanted to ask you, Kev, is what would you say would be your favorite childhood memory?
Oh boy.
Your favorite, probably
Man,
a lot, but what sticks out?
yeah, I don't know. Some of them have to do with school. Some of them, one of my favorite memories is probably going to my grandmother's for Christmas Eve. We did that for
Yeah,
so many years when I was a kid. And I come back to
yeah,
Johnstown now and I'll still drive by the house she lived in, and it's things
yeah,
have changed so much. And I guess that's normal in anybody's lifetime that
yeah.
things will change. Uh, and a memory of mine, again, that still has to do with Christmas. We did a play or something every last day of school before we got out for Christmas. We would do the nativity or we'd
Yes.
do some other thing. There'd be a big assembly and parents would come and then
Yep.
we'd get out early and they'd take us all home. That's a good memory
Yeah.
too. And actually Liz and I were talking about that because when we were in first grade, I think we did the nativity and I was
Hmm.
I was Joseph in that play. And I thought at
Oh,
the
okay.
time I thought Liz was Mary, but she corrected me and she actually played a donkey. So
Oh, jeez.
sorry, Liz, about that. And Denise Romsberg was Mary.
Okay.
She had a little baby doll that she carried.
Oh, okay.
So
All
yeah,
right.
mom and dad took some pictures of that, and we laughed about those as we were looking back at the photos. So yeah, those are all good
Yeah, that's
memories. Lots of other ones too. I mean, we
yeah.
had we had so much fun as kids. Uh,
We
we
did.
we grew up in
And
a
you remember
simpler
what would
time than
happen?
now, and I mean, kids manage to be kids no matter what time they grow up in, but I wouldn't give them
Yeah,
back for anything.
not exactly. And you remember what would happen after the assembly? We would go to the cafeteria, and then Santa Claus would come,
Yeah, I remember that.
and every time he'd bring that little box of like Reese cups.
Yeah.
It was like a little Christmas, and it had all these different flavors.
Yep.
And every year that would happen. That was
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yep.
Um, I tell you, one thing I wanted to ask, I thought this was interesting to ask you, is because we all know everybody from grade school. A lot of our grade school friends, as you know, went to Bishop McCourt,
Yep.
right? So everybody really has a good, they know Kevin Daly, and they know high school, grade school. What do you think would be one thing that would surprise us grade school friends about you? What's one thing that we don't know that would
Oh,
surprise us?
I don't know. I don't know that I have any surprises.
No surprises?
No, I don't know that I have any surprises. Uh,
Well, I think I can think of one for you. that maybe people don't know is didn't you work for Boeing
I
at
did.
one point?
I did.
Yeah, yeah,
I actually majored in aerospace engineering at Penn State.
yes,
And I'm one of the majority of the classmates I have from there that does not work in aerospace. I've been at AT&T forever.
yeah,
But I did do an internship there in 1990
yeah,
in Seattle, and I love Seattle. But when you're whatever I was, 21 years old at the
yeah,
time, that's a
yeah,
long way from where I grew up. And at that time, now you think, well, if I want to be somewhere, I just jump on an airplane and I fly there. But back in those days, that was not in my head. And
yeah,
also there was no job there. So there
yeah,
was no permanent
yeah.
job for me.
Okay,
So when I finished the internship, unfortunately, that didn't turn into a job offer. So there was that. So I came back and I went to work for AccuWeather.
yeah,
So worked there for 3 years, and then
yeah,
that led me to Bell South and now AT&T. So yeah, yep, that was fun.
yeah. So I
And I
think
often think
it's
about that. My son
interesting
always asks me, like, why
that
why don't you work in aerospace? Like, you studied that. Why don't you work in that? I said, well, life happens.
yeah,
Just takes
yeah,
you different ways. So
it does. Yeah. And how long was that internship?
it was May to September. So
Oh, that's a
5
good
months.
amount.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I went before
Okay.
Memorial Day and I came back after Labor Day. So it was nice. It was a long,
Yeah.
yeah. Met a guy who had a boat on Lake Washington, used to go sailing with, that
Okay.
worked there, and used to go out to dinner. Lots of good places to eat in Seattle. Very pretty place. I mean, when the weather's nice there and the mountains come out and everything, it's just beautiful. So I really had a good time with that.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
fun. Yeah.
awesome. You had that. I remember that. I'm thinking, well, you know what? When I just asked you that question, I'm like, I think a lot of people wouldn't know that,
Yeah,
you
maybe
know?
not. Maybe
So
not.
maybe not, right?
Maybe not. I have a
Um,
videotape that I took while I was there. I won't bore anybody with that, but I took some videos and I sent it home so people could see. Talk about how you used to do this back then. You'd record it on the tape,
yeah.
mail it. And I
Mail
still have
it.
it. I still have
Yeah.
that tape, and I still have a
Oh
VCR
my
to play it on.
gosh.
So yeah,
That's awesome. You should
that's me.
convert
I always
that
had my
into it.
tape recorder with me, so I was
Yeah.
kind of an archive guy. Still am, I guess.
Thank
So
goodness for that.
yeah,
Yeah. And another thing I thought about, the interesting question to ask you, Kev, is what kind of advice do you think you would give your younger self? Like, let's say, go back to if it's grade school or high school. What kind of advice would you like to give yourself?
that's a good question. I would start by saying, keep trying to pursue what you believe you want to do with your life, because sometimes when you're a kid, like I said, even the Boeing thing, you think, well,
Yeah.
that's too far. It's too far away from home.
Hmm.
Seattle's way long, and I don't know. You have these moments in life. Not that I'm disappointed the way my life's turned out by any
Sure.
stretch. 'Cause I'm
Sure.
blessed in more ways I can count. But when you stop and think about, well, if I had done that differently, if I had pursued that career, how would my life be different? Would I live here? Would I live there? Would I have met the people I met? Would I have met my wife?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's not a good or bad thing, but
Yeah.
just to I sometimes, like Alex will ask me, why didn't you stick with that? I had other things. I had another
Yeah.
job. I've never been unemployed for a long period of time, but I often wonder, how would that have been different if I would have
Yeah.
stuck with that? So that's one thing I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good one. That's a
yeah,
real good one. And uh, because you were just saying that same thing, but even before I asked the question, it was kind of like already on your mind. So that's a real emotional,
yeah.
uh, thought that you just had, and you put it all together nicely. And so I know because you and I have pretty much stayed in touch like all these years.
Oh yeah, we go back a long way.
Long way,
Yeah,
yeah. So I know that you've did aerospace engineering. I know you were at Boeing. I know the career at AT&T and T and your life, and you travel a lot. A lot of people may not know that you have done that, or without having followed you on Facebook,
yeah,
know that you travel a fair amount, right?
we do.
And you've been to a lot of different countries.
Yeah,
And if you had to think, what's one experience that you would still like to do? Because you've done a lot. Is there something else like on your bucket list that you really want to do?
I'd like to do a river cruise through Europe. We haven't done that. Carrie's not a big cruiser, um, but I'd like to do that. She wants to go on a safari, so I'm sure
Okay.
we'll do that, and that'll probably be a cool experience. Sometimes
Okay.
um, we do travel around a lot. I follow Marillion, as most people know. Chris is probably rolling his eyes. His band I follow,
Well,
and that takes us to a lot of
yeah.
places. And we've met
Yeah.
a lot of great friends through that. And so we're again blessed to have
Yeah.
friends all over the world through this music. But yeah, experience wise, we went to Iceland, Carrie and I. That was great. A lot of
Okay.
great hiking there. Just a beautiful place to be. So sometimes it's the journey that's as fun as the destination. And there's a lot
Yeah.
of great rail trips and boat trips and things. And I'd like to try some of those things out. I think that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
So that's one thing I was thinking of because you've been to so many countries. Could you think of one that's like the absolute like, oh my God, I got to go back. That was the best experience I've had. Do
Iceland
you
is
have that kind
one.
of
Yeah,
thought? What
we've
is?
gone to some place. Sometimes you go to a new restaurant, you think, man, it's the best food ever. It's the greatest experience. And then you go back a second time, you think, I shouldn't have come back here because
Hmm.
it just ruined the great memory I had the first time. So there's a
Ruined the
little bit of
bond,
that
right? Yeah.
with going back to places. And
Yeah.
we go and we have great experiences. Finland, we went last year. That was great. We went a little early. We had hoped to do some dog sledding and some other winter stuff, but we went in November and there was snow, but there wasn't enough snow yet to do some of those things. So I'd go back to Finland again because that was
Okay.
really fun. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've been to a lot of countries in Europe. So I talked to somebody. It was my dentist actually because I went to the dentist the other day. She just came back from Croatia, and for people who like Game of Thrones, a lot of it was filmed there. Um,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
town there called Dubrovnik, which was King's Landing. So we were talking about that. So she liked that, and we want to check that out. But as far as going back to a place, I'd say
That's
Iceland
cool.
and Finland both, just because the outdoor stuff that we like to do is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
such a thing there in both those places. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, remind me again, what's the name of that band you always follow?
it's Marillion. Marillion.
Marillion.
Yeah,
Marillion.
Marillion. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
I
knew it
was
was
a
something like that.
I was a big Genesis fan in college, and
Yep.
it was actually my first wife who gave me a tape one day. She's a music person. She said, "So you like Genesis? You ought to listen to these guys. I think you'd like them." There was a couple of their songs on it, and so I have her to
Yeah.
thank for
Yeah.
my exposure to it, Melissa. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was that was a long time ago, and I didn't see them live until boy, 15 years after that. But we've been to see them several times since then, Carrie and I. And as I said,
Well, Kev,
we hang around with
let's
a
be
group of
honest.
people that's just
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and that's
Right.
90%, half the reason we go is to see these people that we've made such good friends with. So it's great.
Well, let's be honest. It's not just a few times
No,
that
it's been quite a few. Yeah,
you see it's been quite a few.
yeah.
How many countries have you seen Marillion? Marillion,
Amarillion, yeah. Oh
right?
boy,
How
it's
many countries?
probably 10 or 12, I would guess. So we've seen him several times in the Netherlands, several times in
Yeah.
Europe, several times. We've seen him here. They've played here a
Wow.
couple of times. So
Okay.
Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, they've
Okay.
gone to Japan. I didn't go there. We've some part of
Okay.
some of the friends we have went and saw them there. But yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's a good handful of countries for sure. So
That's for sure.
yeah,
And you're right. When
which is
Chris
great because
sees this,
we
he's
make
going
a
to roll
trip
his
out of
eyes.
we go to see the band and get together with these people, but we also look for what else can we do while we're there. Never been there before.
Of
Go
course.
see this thing,
Yeah. Of
sightseeing here,
course.
do this. So it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's
Yeah. It's
expensive.
fun. Eh,
That's why I don't have a nice
Yeah, I'm
car.
sure it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But we're lucky because
Exactly.
we both work and
Yeah.
we're not extravagant about it. So we manage it, we plan it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's good. We're blessed, as I
So
said.
let me ask you two more questions.
Yeah.
So if somebody had to play the Kevin Daly, the great Kevin Daly, and just so everybody knows when they watch this, the reason why I said the great Kevin Daly is because Kevin, just so you know, told me, hey, when you introduced me and talked to me on this podcast, that please introduce me as the great Kevin Daly. So
Yeah.
there you go. So I did it
People who
for you,
know Tim
Kevin.
Casino know that's,
Yeah,
suspect information,
that's
but we'll leave that.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. I
So
think made that up. Yeah.
who would play the great Kevin Daly your life in a
In the
movie?
movie.
Who would you want to play you?
Uh, I don't know. John Cusack, maybe. Tom
Okay. All
Hanks.
right. Who?
Tom Hanks, he can play anybody.
Anybody? Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
don't know.
Tom Hanks is a good
That's a
one.
good
All right.
question. Yeah, never really thought
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. Isn't that'd be? I think that'd be a good one.
I've thought that about other people. If we ever make a movie, this guy's going to play you or this woman's going to play you. I've definitely
Yes.
thought that about other people. Never thought that about myself though. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
who
Of
knows?
course.
Yeah,
Of course. Yeah. And
that'd be an
yeah. So
interesting
and
movie
if
to see.
well, speaking of movies, that leads me to my last question, which is, give me your all-time favorite movie, and why do you like that movie?
I'm not a huge movie person, but I do watch the same movies over and over again.
Okay.
Um, I like The Hunt for Red October. I don't know if it's my all-time favorite. That's
Hmm.
one of my favorites. I've also seen Star
Yeah.
Trek 2 about 300 times. I could probably recite all the dialogue out of it. Um,
Is that the one where it's come
yeah, that's that one.
on?
Yeah,
That's
that's
that
that
one.
one.
Okay.
That's that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
recently, Carrie and I have only actually been to a theater to see a movie once, and we've been together 10 years. We went
Oh
to
my
see Top
gosh.
Gun, Top Gun
Okay.
2. Yeah, we watch a lot of movies at home, but we just haven't
Okay.
we haven't spent a lot. Actually, part of the reason is we always laugh because you go to these theaters where they have these comfy chairs and you recline the chair, and then
Yeah.
next thing I look over
Yeah.
and Carrie's asleep. So she even says,
Carrie's
"I'll
asleep.
just fall
Yeah.
asleep if we go." So
Yeah.
we don't do a bunch of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably
Yeah.
others I could think of as if I thought about it more, but those are two
Okay.
that pop to mind right off the top of my head. Definitely.
So let me ask you this then. So Star Trek 2 was the one that came out in 1982, and that was Leonard Nimoy and right those that cast.
Yeah, that's one
You
where
know they
where
did
Spock died at
reboot.
the end of that movie.
They
Yeah,
exactly, and then they did reboot that series
yeah.
in 2009, and then in 2013 was the sequel that featured the new Khan. Did you see that cast, that movie?
No, I did not. With the new cast.
Okay.
No, I went to
Yeah.
see the first movie with the new cast, and then the very first movie, Vulcan gets destroyed. And I thought, oh no, I can't.
Yes.
I know that this is a reboot
It's
and
sacrilegious.
it's a new, what do they call that chronology? A new lexicon, I guess. But that's a bridge too far. I can't handle no Vulcan. I mean, there's still Vulcans
Yeah.
still there, but Vulcan's gone. I thought, wait a minute, Vulcan can't be gone. So anyway,
Yeah. But the idea of what happened, okay, in the first movie is that they went into a time warp loop or something,
yeah,
and so they it altered their lives in the first movie. It created an alternate reality. So the Spock and all those guys and Vulcan that we know and love and we grew up with is still alive and still there, but this alternate reality is where uh, Vulcan gets destroyed.
yeah.
So your childhood Vulcan is still alive technically, just so you
Okay,
know.
good. Well,
Yeah,
see, I never
yeah.
checked back in. I couldn't
You
handle
should. I would highly, highly recommend watching that second movie. Um,
it. I'll do
that
that.
was that was a spectacular movie. I've watched that thing so many times.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so I recommend that's some homework for you to do
All right.
after this podcast, right?
Yeah, okay. I'll watch it for the next one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll send you the link for that, just so you know, not to forget.
Beautiful.
Um, but this was great, Kev. This was a great little update on you and learning a little bit more about you. And I hope and I think our classmates will enjoy it. So
I hope so. I hope they enjoy the
um,
YouTube channel. I hope they enjoy the stuff that you're planning to put up there. I think it's a good idea. We and like we were talking about, we had so little time there. I mean, it was,
yeah,
5, 6 hours, but still it went by so quick. Um,
yeah,
and I think everybody who came really enjoyed it. So this is a good
yeah.
way to kind of keep that
And I
spirit
can't I
going.
can't thank you enough for helping out with your technical expertise
Yeah,
and
we'll see how that goes, right?
yeah, your computer science background and everything, putting this YouTube channel together, helping us out the evening of the reunion. I mean, it was so charming. What you added to the evening was just like the icing on top. It really was, and so
Well, it's
it
thanks. I,
made it made everything perfect.
I appreciate that. You guys worked
Yeah,
really hard at it too, you and Chris and Steph, and
yeah,
to put all that together, and it was really a great evening. Really, really was. So
Yeah. So we're
happy
going
to
to
be
keep
part
this
of it.
going. We're going
Yeah.
to keep this going, right?
Perfect.
Just like, you and I in grade school doing our projects together, how we always did projects together in grade school. We're back at it.
We did. We're back. That's right.
We're back. We're back.
I like it.
All
All
right,
right.
man. Well, all right. Well, look, let's wish for a good Steeler victory today, and let me know when this video is ready.
I will do that.
All right, buddy.
All right.
All right, we'll see you.